I am really angry. But I've got some information here that I ran across a couple weeks ago. A friend of mine had told me. Do you know a guy named Christopher Story out of England?
Rings a bell.
Okay, he publishes this report. It's called the Global Analysis Report at worldreports.org.
Okay.
And he reported, started reporting in a 3-series set of articles around the middle of December that Geithner had been arrested by Interpol and on warrants from the World Court.
Yeah, I did see that. No, that's not. Geithner has not been arrested. We always see these type of reports from other places coming out, and no, that's not happened.
Okay, well, great. I'm glad you cleared that up for me.
Yeah, Interpol works within every nation. The Justice Department has its own Interpol branch, and the reason that Obama, in an executive order a month ago, gave them immunity was so now the FBI has immunity domestically under international control. But I appreciate your call, Jim. George in Connecticut, you're on the air.
Hi. Thanks, Alex. I'm a first-time caller, and I've been listening to your show for about maybe 2 months now, and I just want to tell you that I believe your theory about 9/11 100%. I talk about it with my dad and my friends, and we all believe that Bush caused it.
Well, I wouldn't say Bush caused it. He's a puppet. What we're talking about here is government staging terror attacks or allowing terror attacks to take place as a pretext for expanding their control. And that's the oldest story in the book. I mean, I had Anthony Schaefer, Colonel, Army, CIA, Black Ops on for 40 minutes Friday. And he testified before Congress that they bare minimum allowed the attacks to take place. I mean, here's Newsweek. Exclusive. The informant who lived with the hijackers. Newsweek. Here's another Newsweek. Alleged hijackers may have been trained at U.S. bases. The head of the Defense Language School. Here's AP. Lieutenant Colonel Butler said that hijackers were trained at their base. I mean, that's the issue. We know the official story of 9/11 is a fraud. Go ahead.
Just as I said, me and my dad talk about it a lot, and because if a plane hit a building like that, it wouldn't collapse like that. It would have tipped over.
Well, Building 7 wasn't hit by a plane.
Yeah, it was a fake detonation. They detonated it before it hit the plane, before it hit the building.
No, Building 7 was a separate 47-story building that wasn't hit by a plane.
It wasn't?
No, Building 7 was not hit by a plane.
Oh. And we also, me and my friends, and we all listen to you, and we think that more people are tuning into your show now here, and we all...
George, that's awesome. Keep spreading the word. Look, go to Infowars.com. In the search box, put in Building 7. You can watch all the videos of Building 7 at 5:25 in the afternoon Eastern, collapsing into its own footprint from small fires. And the CIA was based in the building. Annie in New York. You're on the air. Annie, welcome.
Hey, Alex. How's it going?
Welcome.
Thank you very much. I wanted to talk about Geithner's backdoor bailout of AIG.
Wow, I'm glad somebody wants to talk about what's really important. Go ahead.
Well, we know it went to Goldman Sachs and other banks, and you know, but I don't think most people are aware that it saved then-Secretary Paulson's nest egg, which I believe was more than $700 million. And I just wonder if Representative Towns and Representative Cummings, who want these hearings, are going to connect these dots, or just
no? They always run whitewashes. People like Senator Sanders, Congressman Paul, Congressman Stearns, they actually ask real questions. And Geithner the whole time has said, "I won't tell you where the money went." Well, we know where it went, in his big fat pocket. And if they can naked body scan us, if they can take blood without warrants at checkpoints, if CPS can take people's kids without due process, if they can take trillions of dollars of bailout money and not tell us where it went, they can get away with anything.
And I know you've got other callers. I just want to say this. My 12-year-old mortgage has been sold 6 times. The latest time it went from EMC in Texas to JP Morgan Chase, And in the last few months, because I called, I'm unemployed, I'm a couple of weeks behind, so I always call them. The customer reps no longer have Texas accents. They're barely understandable. So I asked this one rep, Chris, what city are you in? And he named it. And I said, where's that? He said, Central America. So we bail out J.P. Morgan Chase so they can send the jobs to Texans to Central America.
Great point. $25 billion was given in auto bailouts. At least $3 billion by General Motors was used. This is mainline news to move to South America, to Brazil, Eastern Europe, and China. You paid to move the factories out of the U.S. This is a giant robbery. I'm taking a lot of calls on this Sunday edition. Coming up in the last two segments after the bottom of the hour news, I'm going to go over the latest on health care, the economy, and the naked body scanners. Now, I'm not giving callers more than about a minute apiece, but we're doing that so we can get to everybody. That's the catch-22. And we've got about 20 people on hold, so that's probably it for phone calls. If you're on the board, I'll be able to get to you, though. Let's talk to Dan in Illinois. Dan, you're on the air. Welcome.
Yes, well, thank you, Alex. I was just wondering, do you know whether Robert Wannick or his parents ever prosecuted the teachers and other officials at the school that physically abused them that one day?
Okay, that was a case in Minnesota of a YouTube student activist who's had millions of people watch his videos, where he tried to bring an information packet when they were injecting the children with swine flu inoculation and acting like you had to do it. And he said he got roughed up and they grabbed his camera. And no, I need to talk to Robert Wannick. I don't know where that ended.
Okay, if you ever have him on again, I think it'd be good to ask them whether they ever pursued that or not.
Interesting, Dan. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Anonymous in Minnesota. People that say they're anonymous, why not just say you're Bob? Bob in Minnesota, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, this is Bob.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, a few quick things. I think this banking thing with Geithner coming out is huge for us. And for us,
it's openly coming out that it's illegal. He called the shots. The White House has been caught lying, saying he didn't. This is a big deal.
And for us, I guess we'd have to bring out concrete proof and news articles and source information out on this stuff so that this is happening. I was actually
that's why we need an audit of the Fed. It's never been audited since 1913. It's a private banking system. We built our country without it. It's parasitic. It's abusive. And everything it does is unconstitutional. And everything it does, you give private bankers unlimited power over the money supply. They're going to rob you.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, on its face, is it legal for Henry Paulson and Geithner and others in and out of government to give themselves their own bailout money? No. Everybody knows that's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's complete conflict of interest, and they're not working in our best interest, and they're not serving
And now they're lobbying. I mean, I see Rubin, I see Paulson out of office. I see Summers running the White House. He's the real kingpin. I see Ben Bernanke, all of them in and out of government calling for more taxes to pay debt for money that goes to them. You know, the incredible part is of these trillions of dollars they've stolen, they're loaning most of it back to the states and to third world countries at interest. It's all a dog and pony show. It's so incredible. But that doesn't matter. What matters is the premiere of Lost on ABC and Colt McCoy's pinched shoulder.
We've just been so manipulated and twisted. And you talk about this stuff to people, and they kind of like look at you like you're from Mars, or you got antennas.
Yeah, they look at you bringing up issues because they've been conditioned that it's cool to not be informed and be morons. But I don't know who you're talking to. Most people I talk to, if I've got a repair guy over for a busted water heater, or I got an exterminator over, every one of them's a fan that show up at my house. When I get off an airplane in Montana, fans are everywhere. When I get off a plane in Central America, everybody's listening. I mean, there are a lot of people who are awake. I don't know who some of you are talking to, anonymous caller, who look at you like you're crazy. Oh, the banks are raping us. Oh, I think you're crazy. I mean, what planet are they living on?
Well, they don't want to stay in reality for the most part. They'd rather stay asleep, you know.
Well, it was 5% of the public that won the war against the British, and we've got way more than 5%. I mean, come on. 99%, the Gallup poll were against the banker bailout. I just think people don't communicate anymore. They watch TV, they text message, they watch their football game. They're so selfish they won't even save themselves. So they hear you talking about politics, they're like, oh no, I don't want to hear about how I'm being ripped off. I just want to, bury my head in the sand. No, you can't do that. Mark in Canada, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you very much for all you do.
Well, I appreciate that.
Talk about the... Yeah.
Come ahead, sir.
Talk about the backdoor bailout, the Timmygate.
Yes, Timmygate is only the beginning.
The payments to the counterparties I'm checking out right now on Scrib.com. You got them posted on your website.
Yes.
One of the payments, interesting ones, are $5.6 billion to Goldman Sachs, $3.1 Merrill Lynch, and one we noticed really interesting was $6.9 to Societe Generale.
That's the big French bank. Yeah, over $50 billion was given to European banks.
Yeah.
And they won't give details of who individually then got that money.